Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Jamie Lynn Turner joining us here today. Yes, from Jamie Lynn Hypnotherapy. She's based out of New York City and works as a licensed clinical hypnotherapist. Excited to get to know her today and talk about her background and, of course, all those that she's helping, especially those dealing with childhood trauma. So, first and foremost, Jamie, welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're based out of New York City, right?
I'm actually a little bit north of the city. I'm in Rockland County.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm sorry because your note says New York City, New York. So, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you and tell us a little bit about your background and what it is you do specifically.
So, specifically, I'm a licensed clinical hypnotherapist. So, I'm trained in rapid transformational therapy. So, how hypnotherapy is a little bit different, it's not meant to be like long-term therapy. So, it's meant to change the things that people are struggling with and get them the results that they want rather quickly.
Got it. And what is rapid transformational therapy? I know better known as RTT. Could you just share a little bit about that?
Sure, it's a combination of hypnotherapy, NLP, which is like neuro linguistic behavior. It's a combination of a cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's really instead of just implanting positive thoughts, like I'm no longer a smoker, we go in and we dig out the root cause of where the issue comes from, whether it's weight gain or unhealed childhood trauma, if it's smoking, if it's confidence, if it's driving or flying, all kinds of different things. We go in and we find out how that got there in the first place.
Got
Where did your subconscious mind attach to this belief that this is the way it's going to be and it's always going to be that way?
Beautiful. And so many ways you can help, as you mentioned, with the childhood trauma. You can help with relationships, building abundance, being happier, providing, and, more abundance, even financial wise, right? And money
Right.
wise. All
Of
right.
course.
Well, let's get back to you, if you don't mind. Tell
I
us a
don't.
little bit about where you're from and give us a little background into your childhood and how you ended up in this field.
Sure. So, I'm the oldest child. So I'm like the first marriage child. So I come from, there's five of us. So I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest sibling. I grew up in upstate New York, like way upstate, like Lake Ontario, upstate New York. And then I'm in my 20s after college. I moved to Brooklyn and I lived there for 20 years. And then about 12 years ago, I left Brooklyn and I got a driveway. So I moved
Uh-huh.
to
Yep.
Rockland County. So I never have to look for parking again. So I am now a member of Rockland County. My office is right here in New City, New York. And I've been studying hypnotherapy for 20 years, but I've been practicing as
Wow.
a licensed clinical hypnotherapist for the last 6 years.
And who inspired you to get into this field?
She's from Britain. Her name is Marissa Peer. I saw like a webcast that she was doing. I saw a master class and I was hooked and I wanted to read everything that she wrote. I wanted to watch everything she produced. I actually went to London. So I trained in person with Marissa Peer. I took her class here in Manhattan at the Academy of I'm blanking out right now,
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
took her class. I worked live right with Marissa Peer, and I thought that this is life changing, and I want everyone to know all the amazing results that I personally got from hypnotherapy. And I thought this is the most amazing thing that I mean, it helps people heal all kinds of issues that I didn't even know hypnotherapy could heal. I thought that it was like, for weight loss and smoking and
Yeah.
public speaking, but it can do so many more things. And it shouldn't be a last result. It should be a first result. And it's really powerful stuff. And I'm really happy to be helping people every day.
Great. And would you mind sharing a little about your personal life, how it helped you in what areas in particular?
Sure. So before this, I was an iron worker. So I was welding, I was building skyscrapers in Manhattan.
Oh my
13 years and
goodness.
I'm thinking this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I love this. I work outside. I'm on a different building all the time.
Yeah.
And then one day my back just gave out and I fell over on a girder and I was face down and I can't walk and I can't move and I'm in so much pain and doctors and tests and
Ah,
all this later. They're like, you're going to walk with a cane and you're not going to run and you're going to need spinal surgery. And it's terrible. and I'm depressed. And I'm like, I don't know what to do now. And this is the worst thing ever. So I found Marissa Peer. And while I was struggling with
Yeah.
not being able to work every day, I was gaining weight because I'm used to being really, really physical. So I found somebody that had trained with Marissa, and so I found an RTT therapist in Jersey. So I went to see her, and I was like, I want to just see what this is about. I need some help with my weight because I'm gaining too much weight
Yeah.
and it's helping my back injury. And she says, well, I can help you with your pain. I'm like, no, no, no. I have an X-ray and an MRI and all these things. I need spine surgery. And she's like, I know, but I can still help you. So I'm like, well, I'll give it a shot. Let's work on the weight first. I was skeptical. So I went back to so I had started to lose some of the weight. I started to feel really better. I was sleeping better. And I went to do some sessions for pain management, for actually healing. And the trauma that came out in my session had nothing like it was stuff I never even had considered. It was stuff that I was like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not why my
Yeah.
back hurts.
Hmm.
And I can't even tell you where my cane is now. I haven't used a cane in years. I haven't taken a painkiller in 6, 7 years.
Wow.
When I was telling you, I was taking a painkiller in my morning coffee to put my pants on. I was like, I can't stand up, I can't walk, I can't sit down. Like I was uncomfortable in the cars, on the couch, standing up, walking the stairs. I was so uncomfortable all the time, in so much pain. And I'm like, I can't take these pills. These pills forever are gonna like eat at your liver, and they're
Yep.
really bad for you. And people get addicted to them. It's just terrible. And it wasn't anything I wanted my life to look like. And I was like
Um,
early 30s. I was like, I was a baby basically. And I healed myself with I like I'm telling you, I don't even know where my cane is. And I walked 6 miles the other day. And I'm on Friday, I walked 6 miles pushing the baby. And the other day I walked, a couple of miles, and I walked 6 miles again yesterday. Like I'm not swinging a beater on the top of a skyscraper anymore, but I'm putting my pants on every day, and I haven't taken a painkiller in probably 6 years.
wow. Your mom?
Oh yeah, I have 3 children.
Oh my God. I didn't know. You said pushing the baby. I'm like, how many kids do you have?
Yeah.
Three? And boys,
Hmm.
girls, what?
Girl, boy, girl.
God bless.
Yeah.
What are their ages?
She'll be 2 next month, 5 and 21.
Beautiful. My goodness. I have a 7 and 9-year-old, two boys. So, all right. Awesome. Wow. Can it even help with children, or are children, exempt from this? Do they
Depends
have to
on
be a
what
certain
age.
age?
It depends on
Okay.
how much they understand, but it can definitely help with things like potty training. It can help with confidence. I'm actually seeing a little girl on Friday for sleepwalking. It helps with grinding of your teeth. So when we see them when they're smaller, it's actually kind of easier because they still believe in magic. Like I don't have to convince them that it works. I can still see them for bedwetting and for I saw a little boy for Afrit. He couldn't eat different things. He was having trouble swallowing, and the results with children are actually so much easier.
Wow. Okay, this is amazing work. Well, I clearly am impressed. I know you're excited to talk about this because you've experienced the benefits of it and you're helping so many. And by the way, there's some great testimonials on her website, which we have to establish, JamieLynnHypnotherapy.com. That's JAMIELYNN hypnotherapy.com. And also, how else could we reach out to you? Do you want to share a contact number or a social media page?
I'm Jamie Lynn Hypnotherapy on Instagram and Facebook. And if you go to my website, you can book a call right from there, or you can send me a text right from there too.
Beautiful. Well, reading some of the testimonials, if you don't mind, this person,
Sure.
KS, says major positive changes. I lost 15 pounds and I feel like a new person. Another successful experience with DO. I quit smoking after one session. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This other person, SS, wrote about your fabulous therapy. You were gracious. It was personalized to assist me. I can't thank her enough. And a great find. I've been feeling the effects of her work in a positive, quick, effective manner. Would you mind sharing some of your client stories and some of the things you've helped them with without using their
Oh,
names?
sure.
But
No,
yeah,
of course.
let's. I know. So I
Sure.
know about the smoking, the weight loss, but what are some of the things that I mean, like chronic pain? I mean, you tell me. Tell me a good story about someone that you've really helped.
So I worked with this one woman, and she has trichotillomania. She was secretly pulling her hair so bad. She's this beautiful,
Oh,
gorgeous
I'm like, I
woman.
didn't know what that was. Okay.
So she was pulling her hair, and she was actually like having bald spots, and she was so embarrassed, and she was so upset. And I saw her 3 times, and she said after our first, and my sessions are 2 hours long. So at the end of each session, so I see everybody for about 2 hours, and at the end of the session, I make them a personalized recording. The recording is
Okay.
specific to each person, and it's theirs to keep forever. It's part of the work. So I'm like, we have our session. And then when you go home, you listen to this recording. It's 15, 20 minutes long. You listen to this recording at least once a day for at least 21, 30 days. You can listen once a day for the rest of your life. If you want, you can listen 3 times a week. It's whatever you want to do. It's yours. And she wrote me back maybe a week or so later, and she said that we had dug up and healed some things that in 2 hours that she hadn't healed in 20 years with her therapist. She said, I knew there
Wow.
was this block. I knew there was something there, but talk therapy, how do you feel? What are you going? What are some struggles this week? But hypnotherapy is really like, I'm just going to put you in a relaxed state, and I want you to just tell me where the root cause of the trichotillomania comes from. Where does the hair pulling come from? And we got to some things that were hurting her so bad from her childhood that she just felt like, well, I'm an adult now. I'm married now. Things that happened when I was 5 and 6 and 7. She had an issue eating. And she like it was her health was a big concern, and she was just so frustrated. But she was a little girl, so all of the feelings that attached to this, were still kind of like underlying. They were still there. So when we dealt with them and we let them go and we like packed up all of that baggage, all of that hurt, all of that neglect and shame and all of those things that surround things that you can't help when you're a little girl. And it healed so much more, now that now she's an adult. And she said that we had healed so much more in just 2 hours than she did in 20 years of therapy.
Wow. And did she never like look back at the root cause, or she never thought of it until that day? Like, okay, maybe
She
it's
didn't
from
know,
this.
right? Well, your conscious mind ties your shoes. Your conscious mind drives you home. Your conscious mind, is the thing is the part that you think with, that you write with. But the subconscious mind makes your heart beat, makes your lungs breathe in and out. It makes your blood circulate. It does all those things. It runs all those parts of your body that you don't have to think about. And your subconscious brain is like 90% of your brain. So if we can turn off your thinking brain for a little while and we can just open up your subconscious mind, it's just like in a relaxed state, like when you wake up and you can hear the alarm clock, but you're not all the way awake yet. It's that kind of feeling. You're not blacked out. You're not having an out of body experience. You're just really relaxed. And if we go into your subconscious mind and we find out, where does that come from? Where does the root cause of the nail biting come from? Or what's blocking your confidence? Or why do you have this binge eating effect? Or why are you pulling your hair? Or why are you cutting? Or where does the root cause of this come from? And often it's not what we think it is. It's not, well, my mom yelled at me, so I was having a really bad day. So I just went in my room. That's the after effect. Let's find what started it to begin with. And when we can change the feelings around it, because you're not 5 anymore, you're not 10 anymore. Thinking the way that you did when you were 5 made sense then, but it doesn't make sense now that you're 30, 40, 50. And we can just start to heal that. Sometimes even just by talking about it, even just bringing it to the light, you're not 5 anymore. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to speak up. It's okay to do the things that you couldn't do when you're 5. And that brings about so much healing and so much relief that it just like sets people free from the pain that they keep inside.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, love hearing this. And as you mentioned, even some people are going to RTT, rapid transformational therapists like yourself before seeking medical, counseling or that type of work. And not to say one's better than the other, but it's great to have both modalities, right? Because maybe one is not the best, or maybe both are the best. So I love this because you're here to help people really feel better about themselves. And just curious, with your license, are you able to work with those outside of New York as well?
Yep, I can see people all over the country. I can see people actually all over the world, as long as our time zones match up decently enough. Yep, I can see people everywhere. I'm actually a member of the International Association of Counselors and Therapists, so my license is international.
Wow. All right. Well, what other aspects of RTT and the work you're doing did you want to share?
The program that I'm working on right now, I'm actually really proud of. It's called The Unloved Child. So I'm working specifically with unhealed childhood trauma and the way that it comes out. If you ever felt like I'm always walking on eggshells, or I'm afraid to speak up,
Yeah.
or I'm always like I'm the people pleaser, or I'm always like, well, it's okay. I'm fine. Instead of like coming into your full energy, you don't have to keep playing small. You don't have to keep being the quiet one or the fixer or the friend that like patches things up with other people, or, well, you know what, he's just having a bad day, or she's just a little grumpy right now. We're going to, instead of playing small and like kind of disqualifying yourself. I'm helping people break out of that and really just embrace like the fullness of their energy and the fullness of like who they all want to be.
Perfect. Well, also at this time, since we are a little over halfway through, we got to remind everyone, Jamie, how we can contact you. Would you mind sharing?
Sure. You can call, text, email. I have a website, jamielinhypnotherapy.com. Right from my website, you can book a call. It's free. There's a free 30-minute consultation to ask some questions to see if this would work for you, if I'm a good fit to work with, to work with you. You can text me right from my website. There's a text emoji. I could send a text message right through there. And I'm at jlhypnotherapy@gmail.com. So text, email, go to my website. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. It's pretty easy to find me.
Great. And I know you always said you had a calling to help people. And could you share where that came from?
I think I always just felt like when I was little, I wanted to be an art therapist. I thought that that was just, I saw it on TV one time and I just thought that that was like the coolest thing. And I guess I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to make it a little better. I've always been like the cheerleader. I've always wanted to like cheer other people on. I've always wanted to be like, you can do this. And I felt that that made me feel good inside to help to make other people feel good. It was just kind of something that's part of me, I think.
Got it. All right. Well, what else do you want people to know about this work you're doing and how it could be of benefit and service to them?
I think that even if you're not local to Rockland County, I think find a hypnotherapist in your area and just give them a call if there's something that you're struggling with, something that you're doubting. If there's, you want to make I saw a woman and um she was the CEO of a really large company and she was like, I just feel a little stuck. I just feel a little, I'm not sure. We had one session and she called me up a month later and she was like, well, I quit my job as the CEO and I started this other company and I've never been happier in my life. So if there's something that you just feel is like maybe not in line with your purpose that you're living, or there's just something that's just, or there's something missing, or there's just something that's not as enough as you wish that it was, find a
Perfect.
hypnotherapist in your area, give me a call. I can help you find somebody local. If you'd like to see somebody in person, I can see people in Zoom all over the place. I have a wide network of colleagues. There are hypnotherapists literally in hundreds of countries around the world making this huge change, telling people that you don't have to struggle. You don't have to play small. You don't have to suffer for long periods of time when you're not getting the answers that you want or you're not getting the results that you want. You don't have to suffer and you don't have to play small. And hypnotherapy can help people with confidence, with public speaking, with becoming
Mhm.
a better driver, with passing your tests. It can do so many things with just with pain management.
I was going to say, what about health wise? Yeah.
There's lots of, I actually saw a woman, she called me and she was like, I've tried everything. I need to lower my A1C. She's a diabetic and she's like, I really don't want to up these pills again. I really don't. She's still a diabetic and she is still on medication, but she lowered her A1C so much that she's like regulated her insulin and she's doing so much better. So there's good results with medical issues and especially unexplained medical issues. The World Health Organization did a study, and women with unexplained infertility, their chances of conceiving with IVF are increase by 50% with hypnotherapy.
Hmm.
Their
Wow.
hypnotherapy can do, I mean, a 50% better chance when you're spending tens of thousands of dollars and you're spending years struggling with something is, I mean, it's an option. I mean, I'm not telling you not to see your doctor or to stop taking any kind of medication, but there are definitely some ways that you can lower your blood sugar, that you can increase your healthy eating, that you can lower your BMI, that you can lower your A1C, that you can start implementing ways to increase your health from the inside instead of another pill, instead of a surgery, instead of another doctor. Just getting back to the core of how we as humans are meant to heal ourselves, how we're meant to sleep solidly through the night, how we're meant to, eat
Yeah.
regularly and to be healthy. Being healthy is our right, and it's something that I wish for everybody.
Now, can I also ask you about some myths and misconceptions? Because some people hear the word hypnotherapy, and I think a lot of them get traumatized thinking,
Sure.
they know about stage hypnosis. Would you mind just talking about that?
Yeah, so first, I cannot make anybody do anything they don't want to do. If they come and see me because their wife wants them to quit smoking, I can't help you. That's not something that that I can overpower your subconscious mind. So I can't make anybody do anything don't want to do. Nobody's writing me checks for $10,000 while they're in hypnosis. It's not how it works. I'm not going to make you bark like a dog or jump on one foot or every time you see a yellow car, nothing happens. I can't leave you in hypnosis. It's not if the smoke alarm in my building goes off, you're going to open your eyes and walk out the building. If for some reason, um, I don't know, you have a coughing attack or something, or you sneeze, like you're just going to naturally come out of it. It's just relaxing your nervous system. Our brain likes the words that we tell ourselves and the pictures that we make in our mind. So if I ask you, picture your front door. Is your front door hot pink? Immediately a picture comes to your mind. So you know, is your front door hot pink? Probably not. But the picture comes into our mind. So our mind likes what's familiar. When we first learn how to tie our shoes, you have to think about it. This one goes over here, and then you cross, and then you pull. 20 years later, you've been tying your shoes every day for 20 years. You don't have to think about it anymore. So our brain likes what's familiar. And sometimes the familiar is the thing that we need to change. If you are constantly telling yourself, oh, I'm such a bad driver. Oh, I'm always late. Oh, my memory is just so terrible. I can't speak in front of people. We're constantly reassuring our mind of the truth that we want it to have. And my job is to help you change that to the results that you really want to have. You don't need a cigarette when you first wake up in the morning. You don't need a candy bar every time you walk into the store. You don't need to get nervous every time that you have an interview with your boss or your yearly annual review is coming up. We're meant to heal ourselves, and our brain likes what's familiar. So making these changes familiar, making confidence familiar, making your new sexy appeal feel familiar, making your hormones regulate. These are things that your mind wants to do for your body, and you just have to tell it to do those things. And sometimes we forget because we get so used to the things that we already tell ourselves. Oh, I'm such a bad driver. I'm
Yeah.
always late. Oh, I always forget, people's names or whatever is specific to you. Everyone can tell you probably three things off the bat, things that they do every day that they wish they did. Oh, my memory is so bad. What's your name again? Oh, I
Uh,
went to the grocery store and I didn't write it down, so I
I
completely
can't
forgot.
remember anyone's birthdays in my family. Never. I always get it wrong by like a day or two. Always. It's
And
like
how
one
many
of my
times have you said that to yourself?
all the time.
That's hypnosis. You're hypnotizing yourself over and over again, and you are reassuring yourself
I can't
this is
remember
what I want. And
anything.
your brain says, this is what you want. Here you go.
Oh, it's so annoying. I didn't realize that. It's like a self-sabotage then.
It is. We self-sabotage ourselves all the time and we don't really know it. And we say negative things to ourselves all the time. Like if our best friend spoke to us the way that we speak to ourselves in our heads all the time, they wouldn't be our friend anymore. If we could learn to love ourselves like we love our children, if we could learn to love ourselves like we love our best friend, that would be so incredibly helpful. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said to myself, "Oh my God, I can't believe I look like this. Oh, my hair's so frizzy this morning. I better pull it back. Oh, that's not the right shirt." If my friend spoke to me that way or my sister spoke to me that way, I'd be like, "What is your problem? Why are you so nasty?" But to speak to yourself that way, it's kind of like accepted. You're not supposed to accept compliments. You're not supposed to, because then you look greedy or you look like you're full of yourself or there's all these, but that's just I it's self-love and self-care isn't always just a bubble bath and a manicure. Sometimes it's really, let me have a shake today. Let me go for a walk today. Let me get some sunshine today. Let me sit down and rest today because that's okay too. Your body needs all kinds of things, not just one thing. And we really need to learn how to speak to ourselves a little better.
Got it. Well, thank you for being here. We still have 5 minutes left in your show. So, what else about your work do you think is important to get across to our listeners today? I mean, just another random question, if you don't mind. Do you know how many sessions someone needs? Do you sell packages? How does that process work?
Sure. So some people it depends on the issue and it depends on how deeply rooted the issue. If you want to quit smoking, generally 95% of the time it's one session. It's 1 2 hour session and that's it.
Okay.
You come and see me, we spend the 2 hours together and I make you a recording and then you would need to listen to the recording, like I said, at least once a day for at least 21 to 30 days. And it's yours
Got
to
it.
keep. But some issues are deeply rooted. Like if you're coming in to change your eating habits, you still need to eat. So it's not like quitting smoking or quit drinking
Okay.
alcohol. you still need to eat. So you need to find a healthy balance. So weight loss and healthy eating issues are 3 to 6 sessions. A lot of things can really change dramatically in just 3 sessions, 3 2-hour sessions. And the sessions are 3 to 4 weeks apart because you need to listen to the recording to make those changes permanent. So you would see me, you would listen to the recording every day for 3 weeks, and then you'd see me again. Then you'd listen to the new recording every day for 3 weeks, and then you'd have your final session. And then you get another recording that you would listen to every day for 3 weeks. And that is like the bulk of what I do. Some things like the Unloved Child program, it's 6 sessions. It's something deeply rooted from your childhood that you've been living with for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So it's a little bit deeper. So it's a range from 1 session to 6 sessions, depending on, or if there's more issues that you want to work on. I'm not going to heal everything in your entire life in 6 sessions, but I can make a huge dent. So if you see me for 3 sessions for weight loss, and then, well, now I want to work on my confidence. Now I want to work on my relationships. I saw this woman, she needed to lose some weight. She was going through divorce and she was having a really hard time, and she loved riding her horses. And she's like, I just need to be able to ride the horses again. So I need to get into shape again. I need to like let go of this. And I saw her for 3 sessions, and at the end, I just put in, I just sent her a recording. I didn't even see her again for the 4th session. I just sent her a recording about attracting her perfect relationship. And a year later, she sent me a picture and she was engaged. And it was just, we had 3 amazing life-changing sessions. She lost enough weight. She's riding her horse again. And a year later, she was engaged. And a lot of that was the work that she did. She listened to the recordings. She did the things that she said she was going to do. And the hypnotherapy just kind of helps her change her mindset around it, kind of helps to start herself loving herself again, which is sometimes hard when you go through a bad breakup or you're having a divorce or you're having like some of those midlife changes that a lot of people really struggle with.
Got it. Well, thank you for sharing this. And if we want to reach out, do you offer like an initial consultation?
Yep, absolutely. There's a free 30-minute consultation. You can just book a call right on my website. You click the link and it sends you to some available times, and you get a free 30-minute call to ask all the questions you want, to see if we're a good fit, to see if I can help you with a specific issue, or even if hypnotherapy is the right fit for you. You can do that right on my website, jamielynnhypnotherapy.com. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Jamie Lynn Hypnotherapy. I'm here to help.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here. And go right to the website again, Jamie Lynn, that's JAMIELYNN, hypnotherapy.com to book a session and book a call. Thank you again. Pleasure having you here and getting to know you. And I hope we connect again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And remember, it's not a willpower issue. It's a subconscious issue. So
Perfect. Yeah, you taught me that today. Subconscious versus the conscious, and the heart beating and the blood pumping compared to the I got to go do something today. Got it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.